Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. Today, we're going to talk about a card that's, well, since they banned Fury, apparently this is the be all end all, and it's because of that caused some serious market movement and price explosion for this card. So, before we get into that, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Subscription's free. It helps keeps us sponsor free. Unless ShamWow ever calls, I'm just going to put that out there. But anyway, don't forget there's also other ways to support the channel. Links in the description: eBay, TCG, Player Store, Patreon's in there if you're feeling froggy, and all kinds of other cool ways to support the channel coming soon. We're on Rumble. That's right, we're expanding because God, only so many people watch this crap. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, what card, may you ask, has exploded since the banning of Fury in Modern? Well, believe it or not, it's this bad boy right here, the Cursed Totem. This is the one that was reprinted in Modern Horizons 2. Two colorless activated abilities of creatures can't be activated. It's cheap to use, easy to get out, not legendary. You can play multiples. The older cards for this are pricey. I think the first reprinting is $4, and the original card is around 15. Non-foil, non-foil. So, how much has this card spiked? Well, as of the filming of this video, and look a little something like this. So, I know it doesn't look like a lot. The Modern Horizons 2 version is only $2.59, thanks to the reprinting of it. But you have to remember, 3 months ago, at the very bottom of this little doodad right here. This card was 29 cents. That's right. It has increased 600 some odd percent or some silly number. It is ridiculous as it's now $2.59 and still rising. It's this blue line right here. Doesn't look like a lot. Trust me, it is. However, the foil version of this card, because people love their bling, was right around, let me check my notes here, $2.71 3 months ago, which was right here. Now selling for $23.04. And also, as you can tell, this is the market history. You can see up here, the cheapest card you're going to find is $3.06 with dollar shipping. So technically, this thing's really $4. All the cheap versions have been bought. This hasn't been keeping up. You can see down here, it gives you what its buy price thinks it is, but as we all know, once the cheap ones are gone, just the expensive ones are left. And I even went and looked at the latest sales. You can see as of the film of this video on the 22nd, there was multiple sales. One, two, two. This card is hot and heavy, and people want it. So, why is it, you say, Captain, that a card like this would miraculously spike for some reason just because Fury is gone? Well, lots of creature combos out there that Fury was able to keep under wraps. Because to be honest, being able to lay Fury and then just shoot stuff off the board for free stopped a lot of creature combos. Um, but now with Fury gone, and we're more on a 1-to-1 removal basis at best, sometimes 2-for-1 if you're getting lucky. Creature ability combos are starting to pop up in a lot of places. Well, for example, we have this little fella. You guys remember Yawgmoth? Yeah, he's still around. The ability to protection from humans is fine. He's a 2/4 for 4, not so hot. The main deal here is paying that 1 life to sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card is a huge ability. Not only can you start sacrificing creatures that you own to shoot down your opponent's stuff, but you're also drawing cards out of it at the same time, giving you a never-ending reserve of stuff to do. Now, yes, it does cost a life. You can only draw so many, but put together in the right kind of deck, and that life loss is really irrelevant. For example, if you lay a Shieldred that says gain 2 life when you draw a card, paying 1 life to sacrifice a creature, kill something, and draw a card nets you a life, meaning every card you draw gains you a life. There's no point in even stopping to draw cards. Also, it has 2 black. You can discard a card to proliferate if you're really feeling froggy. There's all kinds of stuff they can do with poison counters and what have you. Or you can put a -1/-1 counter on your opponent's whole field, and then for 2 black, proliferate and kill his entire field by giving them all an extra counter, yada, yada, yada. And you may think to yourself, well, that doesn't seem like too big a deal. Eventually, you will run out of mana because you have to have mana, or it's just not going to be a thing because you got to keep casting cards or spend the black to proliferate, yada, yada. So not a whole lot's going to be going on. Well, normally, that would be the case. But if any of you guys have ever played Commander, you probably know there's plenty of creatures that'll let you keep this combo going for quite some time. For example, here we have Strangleroot Geist. So it has haste and undying. So what this means is undying means when it comes into play from the graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now if it dies with a +1/+1 counter on it, it's actually then dead and removed from play. It says whenever this creature dies, if it has no +1/+1 counter on it, return to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Here's the trick. All it takes is you get one Strangleroot Geist out and one other creature that is either similar to this or just have an extra creature that you have out that in any way make tokens when your creatures die. There's tons of different ways, right? Another way is there's a wolf. I forget the exact name of it. But if you get this and that wolf in play, they both have undying. All you do is you sacrifice one, and then you target the other one. So then what happens is one dies. It comes back with undying. This one has a -1 on it, so now it dies. So they both go to the graveyard. They both come back with undying, and that's when the loop really starts. Because then you sacrifice one of them that has undying on it, or a different creature, and then you just put the +1/+1 on the undying creature, and then you sacrifice it. Does that make sense? Because what happens is you have two creatures here. They both have +1/+1. You sacrifice this one, put a -1/-1 on the other one, and you just bounce them back and forth between a couple of these creatures. I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but trust me, it's easy to get going with just 3 creatures, no mana activations, and the fact that you can draw your entire deck with Sheoldred in play. Now, having this, a Sheoldred, a Strangleroot, and the Wolf, and all these other things in play, it's a bit much to ask. However, as you know, this was a popular deck back in Modern, before Modern Horizons came out, and really shook up the formats with the whole elemental, I guess you call it, series in the set for an elemental for every color. And this was a deck played by some individuals, and it was a good deck. And when the combo went off, it was pretty easy to win. Plus, it has a great way of shooting things down. It was a really, really good deck. And now, with Fury gone, to stop people from doing stuff like these combos, because you can cast Fury anytime you want and just blow stuff off the field, like Yawgmoth, among other things. Not just this creatures, but, for example, creatures and creature-activated abilities are becoming very popular. So, that's why this card is going up in value, because of stuff like this. So, if you want one, you could probably wait a year or so, and the format may change. This card may get cheaper. However, not real sure that's going to happen. So if I was you, what I would do is I would go ahead and I'd probably get one of these now while the getting's good. And if you want foils, the foils aren't going to get any cheaper. Now that they're up, they're probably going to stay up unless the whole card bottoms out because of some shakeup inside the format. But with this card too, you also got to realize you're bidding against Commander players, because the Yawgmoth deck that I just showed you is a Commander deck where Yawgmoth's the commander, and every creature in there, when you sacrifice it, gives you another creature, so you can keep doing the combo, keep drawing cards. It's got Cabal Coffers, it's got stuff in there for you to sacrifice creatures to get mana, so you can keep getting mana from creatures. It's got the whole kit and caboodle. It does everything and slices and dices and makes julienne fries. And once it gets going, it's real hard to stop. So not only was this big in Commander, now it's big in Modern again, which is going to make these cards very pricey. And not just this card, but probably Yawgmoth and those guys are going to see a little bit of an uptick as well, depending how the format shakes out. But all in all, if you don't want to change the current deck that you play because it's good enough and it's not Yawgmoth, you might want to go pick up one or two of these, you know, before it gets too high. Like Cheech and Chong. Anyway, Snoop Dogg, Willie Nelson, take your pick. Anyhow, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go dig through my bulk rare, see if I got these anywhere. Damn it.